So Aputure just released their 80C, which is basically their new Blair engine. It's a 80 watt full color. That's what the 80 stands for, 80 watts, and the C is for color. One of my favorite lights is the 60X. I've loved the 60X. They also make a 60D, but I felt like the 60X was just a way more versatile light, and I've pretty much used it on every production I've been on since I had one. Thought about even getting a couple of them. I've been on bigger jobs where I've worked with other gaffers, and we've had multiple 60X units, and they've been fantastic. One thing I really love about them is you can power them off an MPF battery, you can power them off of a V-mount battery. They even right on the side of the yoke have a little place that you can mount a V-mount right on the side of it, so that's exceptional. One thing that I like about it also is it has the ability to both spot and flood right from the back of the unit, and there's actually a piece of glass that moves inside of the unit. So there's an actual optical mechanism that's moving and spotting and flooding, which is fantastic. They give you barn doors, which a ton of lights nowadays don't have barn doors, especially LEDs. So that's really nice for shaping your light and getting nice little cuts on the back wall and things like that. Just a really fantastic unit. Doesn't require a lot of power. And now that they made a little bit brighter unit that's full color, I think it's fantastic. Nanlite had their 60C, which a lot of people have been telling me that that's a fantastic unit. I've seen it and I've worked with it a couple times on set, but I've never owned one. And now Aputure just raised the stakes again and brought it up a notch, and they made a better locking mechanism. They have that Pro mount, locking mount for the different accessories. Another really cool accessory that I think is fantastic that they added is the little orb mount, or I don't even know what it's called. It's like a little light bulb on the front of the light. I think that's really great for putting a V-mount battery on and just doing P-tap out to the barrel, locking barrel connector. And then you can put the little light bulb thing on, stash it away somewhere, and just let that thing run like that for like a campfire effect or in a refrigerator, or just a lot of different places where you need to hide something, maybe up above a mirror, in a bathroom, in little tight spaces. I think they're fantastic. Even in a car, you know, underneath in between the seats in the car, I think that can be fantastic. Really, really good for a lot of different applications. So I think excited, and I've been looking all over trying to find the pricing. It looks like it's $599 for these units, so $600. That's not too bad for what you're getting. You consider the 60X is still going for about $400 and $425 or so, I think, on Amazon. So for a little bit more output, way better build quality. Also, it's IP65 rated, so water and dust resistant, so that's fantastic. The Aputure 60X does not have any kind of rating like that. It has a pretty good build quality, and some of it is metal and whatnot, but I wouldn't leave it out in the rain. You know, this one is a way more rugged light made for motion picture, and it really seems like it would be a great addition to a lighting package. I really love the direction that Aputure is going with their units, especially their Pro line. They have their Amaran, their Aputure, their creator content, consumer level stuff, which is also really, really amazing. And for the price, even 5-6 years ago, we didn't have full color RGB Bluetooth connected lights that were at this price point, $300. For $300, you'd be lucky to get a daylight point source back then. Now, for just double the price, you're getting pro level lights with internal CRMX and tons of features. And it's just crazy to see how accessible this gear is. And we're just really spoiled in terms of what's coming out to the market. So I have my eye on Aputure as being a more professional, more reputable company going into 2025. I think they're really trying to capture the cinema market more so than the consumer electronics and low-end content creators. I think that now that they've made that branch and had more of their motion picture cinema line, and then they have their content creator Amaran kind of stuff, there's a very distinct different tier system and quality to the more expensive cinema line stuff, and then the Amaran creator content type of deal. Even though the Amaran stuff is fantastic, it's just not meant to hold up to the day-to-day rigors of working out in the rain and the dust and the desert and packing and going in and out of carts and vehicles. Whereas the Amaranth stuff, if you're just doing like YouTube content and setting it up in a studio, it's more than enough. Really excited to try some of these lights out, get my hands on them, and also see what other kind of modifiers and different mounts they're going to make for this locking Bowens mount, or locking Pro Light mount, whatever it's called. It's basically like a PL locking mount for your Aputure lights, which I think is super cool. It's a much easier mechanism, it seems like, to be able to just put the modifier on, twist, and then lock it in there, rather than having to twist and lock your modifier. So neither the light nor the modifier needs to move. They just come together and the mount moves. So much better design, I think, and that's going to be really great to see. And also a lot more secure. You don't need to worry about, oh, my softbox is going to pop off. There's so many times. I just actually recently did a couple videos back, where I was talking about lighting a podcast studio. And when we had one of our lights up in the grid, we had to put safety chains around all the softboxes because the Bowens mount is not secure. And even just bumping the softbox will come out of the Bowens mount. So having that locking, secure mount for your modifiers is really awesome. Anyways, guys, I'm Scott Stevenson. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out my past videos, as well as subscribe to see my future ones. Peace.